Hello, everyone. Okay, where's my camera? Right there. Okay, so I'm gonna walk you through your homework assignment to create our puppets. Yeah, so this is the front view, side view, and you'll see I've chosen one of my oatmeal colored winter wool socks because I kind of like that color. And you'll see that I used my plastic spoon eyes that I attached onto a rubber band and fastened through the mouth here. You can paint that. I was looking for a red marker to paint like the little uvula there, but I could only find a black permanent marker, so I painted it black. But anyway, that's one variation, yeah? Yeah. So I'm going to walk you through, I'm going to do another one right now and show you another variation. And you'll notice that there is, like I said, there's cardboard to make the mouth. That makes the manipulation of it a little bit easier and a little bit more better articulation for a mouth. So I'll walk you through how to do that. All right, so this is one example. Yeah. We'll make another one now. Okay, so take a sock that you're okay parting with. I have two other options over here. A classic black knee sock or a fun, colorful sock. I'm not okay parting with these yet because these were a gift, but you may have lots of options like these that you don't mind sacrificing for play. I'm just going to use my classic black sock that actually has the gold toe. That actually may look kind of cool. All right, so first things first, what you want to do is you want to flatten your sock out and you want to have a piece of cardboard. Again, this is just a box lid from cardboard boxes from moving that I have. You could also use any kind of thicker cardboard if you've got any kind of cardboard box from any Amazon deliveries, or if you have a thicker cardboard cereal box, or maybe with a cereal box, since it's thinner cardboard, you'd want to do a double layer and tape them together because that would give you a little bit more support. So you've got options. When I make my foam puppets, I actually use binders, like the malleable, flexible binder covers, not the hard plastic ones, but the ones that are kind of opaque and you can kind of see through. I'll use that kind of material because that's a more rigid plastic that also bends and has movement. Anyway, so what you're going to want to do is, can you see this? You want to about a finger's width. So just to like your knuckles there. You want to have, we're going to make a little cutout in that shape. You'll see. You want to trace the width of your sock that you're using. So you want to have about a finger's width of cardboard cut out. I'm going along one edge here, so I have a straight edge on one side. And I'm just doing a simple little trace. Doesn't have to be exact. It's really just an approximation. So you just want a simple little cutout of a finger's width of cardboard. Yeah? Makes sense? And then just take some scissors or an X-Acto knife if you're crafty. And you just want to cut it out. Follow along the lines. And when you're getting there, all we're going to do here is take this piece and you're going to make a mirror image of it. Or not a mirror image, just a replica. So put the straight edge along another straight edge there. And give it another trace. Again, precision is not necessary. The general shape, yeah. So again, you have another version of the same thing. Cut this one out. As I'm finishing this, You'll also want to make sure that you have some tape on hand. I'll show you which tape I have in a second. Going along with the cardboard boxes, I also have plenty of packing tape because we recently moved. But you might have some version of duct tape, masking tape, any kind of tape that's gonna hold. Maybe you have some gaff tape at home. That would be awesome. So what you're gonna wanna do is we're gonna wanna attach these straight edge to straight edge. What I like to do is, working off a tiny little music stand. What I like to do, I don't know if you can see, I think you can. Yeah, you can see that. I like to have a little bit of a gap there. So again, it just leaves a little bit of room for the hinge. So I like to have, you know, just like a couple millimeters of gap there. What you're gonna wanna do is tape that gap together. So line it up on both sides, have it come around, tape it up on the other side. We're making our hinge of our jaw. This is going to go inside the sock to provide that surface for your fingers to manipulate. Yeah. So once you've got it taped, it should bend at front. And you should see that you have a little Pac-Man, a little cardboard Pac-Man mouth. If one of them does, you know, if they don't line up perfectly and one of them is a little bit longer than the other, I usually make that my upper jaw. So that you don't have that going on, unless your puppet wants an underbite. That could be funny. The choices are endless. The possibilities, architects of possibilities. Make it how you want it to be. Okay, so from here, I actually, for just some security purposes, because this U-line duct tape that I have is thin. It's like masking tape width. I usually like to do that hinge joint with a thicker tape. So I'm just gonna take, if I can find the end, come on. Seriously? Clear tape is the worst. Okay, here we go. You're like, Steve, you have some cut strips there already. That's for another application. You'll see. So anyway, if you have the option to also have a thicker stripe around there in case any of that edging doesn't stick, I like to use a little bit of a thicker tape. Okay, so anyway, the point is you just want a nice, secure closure for the hinge. Yeah, great. Now we've got that adhering to more of the cardboard, so that'll stay. All right, from here, yep. What I like to do now is on the outside edge, meaning the sides of the Pac-Man mouth that your fingers are going to go on, I like to do little finger holes, little loops for the thumb to get inside of, and I usually use my ring finger and my middle finger to go inside another loop up here. So how I do that is I can open this up, lay it flat. I take two pieces of, one piece for each loop, and what I do is half it. Depending on the size tape you use, you might want to quarter it. If you're using this size tape, you might want to fold it in toward the center in half from each side first. So you glue the sticky ends to each other and then fold it in half like that. Because the point is you want it to be, you know, not a huge wide strip or a loop. You just want it to be enough to have your fingers rest inside of. So that's one. And then the other, you can fasten this out of other things too, but I just think since I'm already using tape, I can just use tape. But you could use a hair tie or a rubber band, anything that you can fasten onto the cardboard. All right. So from here, you want to, this is going to be my upper jaw. You want to attach or tape on the ends of the loop here to the sides. So I'm going to go ahead and affix that on there like that. Can you see that? So that's enough space for my 2 fingers to fit inside of. So it's going to tape here along the edges to secure that in place. All right, that's what these are for. So go ahead and just affix the edges. This does not have to look pretty. This just has to be functional because it's going to be inside the sock. So you're not even going to see this. Again, as you tape that one side down, you just want to loop that up a little bit there. So you've got a little bit of wiggle room for your fingers in there. And then go ahead and tape the other side down. Don't tape your finger in there. Yep. Tape the other side down so that you can, once it's attached, get your 2 fingers in there so it has more play, more catch on the inside upper jaw of the cardboard. Yeah? And then you're going to want to just do the same thing for a little thumb loop down the bottom. Take your other halved strip of tape or fascinator of your choice. And again, tape the edge of the tape down. One side, and then a little loop for your thumb to rest inside of. And another strip of tape on the other side. Hi. Okay. If you have any extra excess, you can just snip that off, just like that. All right, so now we've got an upper finger loop, upper jaw finger loop, and a lower jaw finger loop for your thumb. So you can refold that up, check it out, try it on for size. Fingers in there. If you've made it too small or too big, and you can only fit 1 finger, whichever finger you feel like will give you the most support. Or you can go ahead and do another version, just take the tape off and redo it. If you can fit more fingers in, go ahead. But I at least like to usually, personally, have my middle finger, my ring finger in there. And then the thumb is through the loop on the bottom. So now you have very good use of controlling the upper and the lower jaw. Yeah? Great. Okay. So what you're going to want to do from here is, I'm going to use the black sock. What I like to do is put the sock on, and you want your thumb to go into the heel position. The little heel, I don't know, what do you call that? Not a cutout, but it's the indention in your sock for the heel. I don't know what it's called. Anyway, so you'll see, because I've got the gold toe, they're up here by my fingertips, and my thumb is in the heel portion of the sock. Yeah, so that's how it's going to go on your hand. So knowing that you've got your upper jaw and your lower jaw right here, that's going to go in here inside the sock. So you can take it off your hand. So I'm going to show you how the hand goes in there. I keep it folded to put it inside the sock. It's easier. And once you get it up there, then you can wiggle it into its correct position. You can open it now once it's in there. So you see now it's flat. So you can wiggle your upper jaw into position. tips of the toe. And your lower jaw is where that heel flappy flap is. Yeah? Great. So now I'm putting my fingers back inside of those loopholes. And you can pull the excess fabric of the sock down. And you'll see Puppet starting to come to life. Yeah? Yeah, that's it. He's kind of looking like a bird. Ooh, I might make him into a bird. Yeah. Okay, so now how do you do the eyes? Well, if you have a variety of the eyes like these, that were attached, like I said, using rubber band, you can just rubber band it around that upper jaw and attach them onto here. So I'll actually show you. Take that one off of here. Ah, they're eating each other. So you see, that's a rubber band that's attached to that. You can just slide it right over. And now that set of eyes is on here. And you can adjust accordingly to have your eyes sit the direction they want to sit in. Yeah? So you've got that option. A lot of you had eyes that were seemingly on a ring. So what I'm going to do, again, this is with the caveat that you have a pair of socks that you're willing to part with or to sacrifice for the sake of art. I am going to use this set of eyes, which actually makes sense. Yellow and yellow. And I know that this goes over my ring finger, so I'm actually going to make just a little incision with my scissors right here over my middle finger between my knuckles, where the eyes will be able to go through the slit, attach onto my ring finger under the sock, and come through the sock and rest above. Make sense? Maybe a little bit of trial and error, but I'll show you how I do it. So again, that's my middle finger, the place where the ring would sit on my knuckle there. So I'm just gonna pinch that, because I'm not gonna cut while my fingers are in there. That'd be silly. All right, so I still have that pinched place, and I'm just gonna make a little incision across there. Great. You can see there's now a little incision right there. For those of you who are making masks for our medical workers right now, and you're handy dandy with a sewing machine or hand sewing, feel free to shore this up as you want. For the sake of this little demo, I'm just going to show you the nuts and bolts of the basic DIY. But you can go ahead and, if you want to, after this is on, you can go ahead and tap some little beads of hot glue on there to shore that up. Or if once the eyes are in place, you want to go ahead and throw some little stitches in there so that it stops any kind of expansion of the cut. That would be helpful for, just for longevity's sake purpose. Okay, so you'll see I'm inserting the ring portion of my eyes into the sock. Well, I'll shore it up when I get there with my hand. Okay. So here you can see my ring finger is in position. I'm going to insert that ring into there. Slide it back down through the hole. Keep my ring finger going to the loop. Oops, sorry. Get the ring over your knuckle. Great. shore that up. Like I said, here is where you could then, once it's off, once you're not wearing it anymore, you could go in with a little super glue, a little fabric glue, a little hot glue, and you can secure that portion of the sock that's been cut away to your eyes there. But for now, I'm just going to show you. So I'm putting my fingers back into the little loop down there. Putting my thumb back into the lower loop. And there you go. You see how you got it. You can manipulate the placement of the fabric of the sock so you get an easy, well fit. Just keep scrunching it down. You may find that the addition of a rubber band or something in here could help with that too, to just kind of keep the fabric pulled back. But yeah, that's the basic way of doing it, yeah? Yeah, great. If you want any little areas of extra credit, you could hot glue a little red strip of fabric in there, a little ribbon or something to give a little tongue. Like I showed you with the rubber band and the other one, you could have a little uvula hanging down in there. You can get creative and playful with this. With this guy, I probably would, since he's got a yellow upper lip, I may find a way to get yellow on the lower lip and really give him a full beak, because he's looking like he's wanting to turn into a bird of prey of some sort. Feel free to start getting creative too. Something I'm going to talk about next week. Next week's class is how we keep our puppets breathing at all times. That's why a lot of times puppets will have marabou or ostrich feathers or some cool furry kind of covering, because any kind of thing that catches air and has a little bit of movement as your hand moves a little bit back and forth, gives it extra breath, extra life. That's really, really fun. So feel free, if you want to expand on this, this is the basics that we'll start working with next week. But if you want to start adding earrings, if you want to start adding other things like the inside of the mouth colors, red or uvula, if you want to start adding some hair or some feathers in here, feel free. And let's play and let's see what we can start building and start bringing to life with voice next week. Keep practicing those, the alphabet, the articulations, the positionings, the mechanics, and I will be posting that. I don't know if it's below or above, wherever, somewhere in this class section, you'll see the PDF of my notes, so you can go ahead and keep practicing your alphabet. Practice saying it in front of a mirror, in front of a screen, so you can see what the puppet's doing. A, B, C, yeah? And we'll keep playing next week.